What a pleasant surprise to see my bubblegum sugar plums. Recent news, we saw the corrupt SEC issued another official warning saying there are more charges against crypto and DeFi exchanges coming. The corrupt SEC is working for the US Fed. They are being controlled by JP Mosquito, Goldman Slugs, the Bank of Ants, and Citybug. They are corrupt. They are trying to do the evil bidding. They are trying to stifle crypto innovation. Will the US populace let them go? What's been happening with the Bitcoin price? We are still working through this zone. How long are we going to be here for? Every single day we wake up, we are still here. Hurry up and move. But we know, friends, tongue in cheek, it spent a long time in 2015 Mt. Gox Ponzi cycle working through this zone. You know, so we've known here, we've been here 189 days. We can go back to that previous cycle as well and see, okay, how long were we in the boredom zone as well? And it was 196 days. So, you know, we're getting close. We're getting close before we might start to move up. By the way, this was much more thin markets back then, so we might not even get this. And this was the Bitcoin halving run right here. This was the Bitcoin halving run. This vertical line was Bitcoin halving. We dumped after it. So I don't know if we're going to do the exact same. Remember, markets get smarter. They get friendlier. They get wiser. You do have Roca Negra's ETF coming, so give a kick up the bum to anybody who was thinking about buying in 2024. Now they're going to front run themselves and potentially buy earlier. Looking on the daily chart though, we still even haven't flipped green. Look how close we are. We need to close the day above 27,340. Look at this. 2 times we wicked above. Like, we got so close. And it will just basically confirm that we've been able to close 3 times the ATR onto the upside and we can continue up. But, you know, just to be warned that this is not completely reliable, because every time there's a green here, you can flip red. Just because on a daily time frame, you can't really believe in anything. Look, there's so many flips. So when you're looking at these indicators, what I want to look at is how many times the colors interchange, because that means how many times you get faked out. How many times can you really believe in a rally? As you go higher in time frame, it's harder to fake things out. But it is what it is, and we enjoy having fun with these time frames anyway. Notice for Ethereum, this is on the daily, Ethereum is not even close to its ATR flip on the super trend. It needs to close above 1710. So it's nowhere near there, but it's been grinding along. A lot of people have been saying it's a bit weak. A lot of people have been saying that Bitcoin dominance is going to go a lot higher, but it looks like, man, I don't see how people are going to walk into 2024 running over themselves saying, oh, I got to buy this $40,000 Bitcoin thing. Like, I feel like anybody who wanted to participate, a lot of the retailers they're in, I do believe everybody coming in, they want something new. Bitcoin's been around 14 to 15 years. They're not stupid. They know, everybody knows, man. You need $400 million to move it up plus 2%. The liquidity required is just too thick now. Speaking of thick and juicy, this is a thick and juicy green candle from ChainLink. We had that thrust up and we're just walking its way up. Hopefully it continues up. For some reason, this move, see this move here, this rogue move, friends? I'm not kidding. The Jubilee finished. The Jewish holiday, the 50-year holiday finished, and then bang, we just start going up. No fundamental news, no extra sponsorship, no nothing. All of it was already done. And then just finally, that's it, started to go. You know, I was even telling my friends, I go, look, the big, deep insiders, the deep staters, the globalists, right? The bugs, the bug eater overlords, they collect. Of course they collect. When they're finally done and they've given it the all systems go, that's it. They just start pumping it every single time. So, you know, you don't know how much they have to collect. They might have, for example, $90 million worth to collect, something huge. And when they're done on the final, when they've done like 80 million, they say, okay, for the last 10 million, stop sitting on the bid. For example, stop trying to collect in the shadows, start just hitting it up. That's a common strategy that they do to try to get the market to start moving in the direction that they want. And this is the ChainLink on the super trend. On the green, it has flipped to the buy, but you know, this does get heaps of fake outs as well. You can't really rely on it. As I mentioned, the killer level is like $8. You need $8 and then we're actually really all systems go. And some of you wanted to see this to be done on hex chart as well. This is eHEX, but you can assume that the correlation is going to be relatively tight. So eHEX, the price where the weekly super trend flips green. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this. It sounds like such a vomitly low number. 0.0077 around here, 0.7, because it's moving down. After that, it flips to the green. I mean, that's disgusting. A low number like that just needed to flip green. Last time it did it was into the PulseChain run. It did a 200% run, so it's about a 3x. The one time I did it before that, it went up huge as well. This is like a 2060, go 32x. We're not going to get this. Don't even think we're going to get anywhere near close to this. It's some hopium for us. So, you know, these things can always fake out. But let's say you just repeated the PulseChain launch and we went up 200%. See, you can just derive the rest of PulseX and pHEX prices from this if you got this. So if eHEX returned back to about 2.3 cents, you would get 2.3 times 2, just based off the ratio. You'd get roughly pHEX 4.5 to 5 cents. So, you know, you'd get total hex around 6.9 cents. And from here, that's about like a 6x. So you would be Pulse would be about, that'd be much higher than now. It'd be about 2.5 times above sacrifice. But PulseX would still be below sacrifice. But at least it would be day one sac. It would be getting closer. And these are the prices we're talking about. So if you did like a 5x from here, 5 to 6x, you'd come all the way back down. Wouldn't that be fantastic if we could get all the way back here? This is the Pulse chart. And then you can also look at the PulseX chart. If you did like a 5x from here, you still aren't at break-even day one sacrifice, but it is better than nothing. And of course, that's a weekly chart, so it would still take quite some time to work its way there. It could take months and months and months just for everybody to clear all the cells that they want to get rid of. Having a quick look at the monthly chart for ETH BTC, I mean, it looks fine. A lot of people are just worried. If you zoom in, they're looking at this tiny little red candle going, oh no, it's over. Like, I think it's just a matter of time. Why would you be worried? You're burning Ethereum. You're giving out yield. Everybody's coming for the smart contract experience. We all know and understand that we're using ETH as collateral. All the ecosystems are flourishing. It's just a matter of time before people come in. There's layer 2s launching. There's alt layer 1 communities like PulseChain who are bridging people over. All these things are happening and they do not involve Bitcoin whatsoever. Bitcoin is just staying as layer 0 and it's just a matter of time before things turn around. See, of course, everybody just assumes, they think that when the ETF comes, you're going to get these billions and billions of dollars that are just going to start hitting market like, yeah, woohoo. I think we're going to be mildly surprised with how the market reacts to it because the market's getting smarter and smarter. It's not so easy just to go, okay, click now to give me my parabolic run. No, you're not getting any risk anymore. And with that means it's getting tougher to front run the market. This is what ETH BTC looks like on a weekly chart. I still think eventually we're going to work our way into this bracket of like 0.09 to 0.13 somewhere here. Remember, this dotted line up here is the actual flippening. Probably when we get to the top, at the top of the bull market, people are going to be calling for the flippening. They're probably going to talk about Ethereum and sharding and all this great stuff. And it's probably going to be liquidity bonded and it's going to make us wait longer. I don't know why I feel that. I feel it that, look, I'll just tell that it's a bit too much for Ethereum to get to the prices we're talking about based off just how much competition it has and what we've created so far and all the things it's got to work through, including the S&P 500 potentially being in a poopy topping out zone. We have a lot of bullish undertone news, friends. That's why in the other pieces of news, we have Japan's largest bank. So you're just going to hear this stuff coming out relatively like every day, every couple of days. This is exactly what 2019 was like. 2019, the sentiment was exactly like this. The price wasn't moving, and there was just all these news coming out one by one. But of course, you know, for us, we're like, how is it possible? Well, no one wants to look at their phone. No one wants to check the computer. No one cares about crypto. No one checks his news every day. And it's completely understandable. It's because the whole thing's a freaking scam and everything goes down. So I completely understand it, you know. Japan's largest bank, Nomura, launches a Bitcoin fund for institutional investors. Surprise, surprise. I just got to remind you, I'm just telling you right now, during 2019, okay, it was interesting. 2019 was also ETH BTC was still struggling to get off the floor. It went nowhere, 2019. And then look, as soon as 2020's happened, so as soon as the Bitcoin halving year happens, look, it just starts moving up. Like, woohoo. I remember that. I never forget this, actually. That's when people started taking notice of me on Discord. They're like, wow, Ethereum is the future. They still didn't buy, by the way. They just saw these green candles. And then when it started going red, they go, no, it's not the future. They only started paying attention when it was too late. So that's what happens during the Bitcoin halving year. If you go back, for some reason, we just start moving up in January to price in the years. It's a new year effect. And of course, within 24 hours, there is the US Federal Reserve, bug eater overlords. They are expected to hold interest rates. It's a 99% chance, but it's not about the interest rates. It's about the commentary that comes with it. There's a press conference. Jay Powell has a talk. People are going to think about, oh, did he use like 3 words to describe something or just one? Was he short? How much time did he give? What are we all expecting? We're all expecting for him to say, we got to look at the data. The data. We got to wait for the CPI, the data. That's all they talk about. The data. We know it's lagging. They know, look, they got 100 PhDs in the office. You think a peanut brain like me can't explain to them, hey, you know this forward-looking data, right? Like, they know what's going on. They know. They just have to do what's right to control the populace. The people don't understand forward-looking data. We're all in crypto. There are people who still try to trade off information today. They're like, oh, wow, I'm feeling bad. Look at this TV show, okay? So we know what's going on here. So imagine trying to control a large population of people trying to tell them about forward-looking data. They just want that headline CPI to go down. By the way, it is going down, but they need that core CPI. They're like, that core CPI, it's still in the 4s. They need it to go down lower. Just a friendly reminder as well, how far have we come? You know, Bitcoin, September 2022, was $19,500. So we are making progress. I think it's a freaking joke that Bitcoin's still under 30K. How can Bitcoin be under 1 trillion market cap? Why? This makes no sense. Every time they print money, it goes up. They literally cracked the economy and cracked the banking system just a few months ago. So we're pretending like we weren't there. But, you know, it's not so easy. That's the markets, right? During bear markets, things get disconnected to the downside. But also, that's why we're going to have to be careful. During bull markets, when there's everybody excited, you and me, right, as your friend, I'm going to have to tell you, you know, let's be honest. Did we invent another blue chip? And I know that's really hard to decide that, because when we see green candles going up, we want our ego, pride, we want all of it fulfilled, because we're like, yes, the market is on the same side as what I believe in, because I know there's good technology here. I want it to keep going and going and going. But there will eventually come a point where it's overpriced. We just don't know where that is. All we can do is look at the people partying. So if there's too many people partying naked, we know that the weakest of weak hands who do no fundamental consideration, they are in purely because of the crowd. Once they're in, then you know, all right, we have to be overvalued now, because people have clicked market buy simply to join the crowd. On average, they're just pushing it up because, you know, they just want to be part of something. They don't actually care about where they think this thing is truly priced. And don't forget the infinite price of our friendship. Make sure you like, subscribe, bell button, all friends. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Remember, FOMC in less than 24 hours. We'll see how it goes.